can't just fake it. I only know how to pull myself apart. I never thought I'd go this far, but I've rolled the scars. It's over now. Run away, out of time. Find a place where I can never hide. I let it run, I let it run, change or even strive. Let it burn.
Reach for the sky, man. It's the way it should have been done. What a show tonight, man. AEW Dynamite continues to deliver. Tonight, they delivered in a completely different way than we've seen the last several weeks. Tonight, Tony Khan and Warner Discovery came together. Warner Media did the right thing, and they allowed Mark Briscoe, they allowed Jay Briscoe, they allowed the honor of Jay Briscoe to be for us all tonight. Unbelievable. Mark Briscoe made his AEW debut tonight against Jay Lethal in an overly emotional match. One of the best moments in AEW history. How did it come to be? What happened? What was originally reported? We got it all for you right here tonight. Bryan Danielson continues to churn out banger after banger after banger tonight against Brian Cage, who looked fantastic. Darby Allin against my guy Buddy Matthews in a great match. MJF, lethal as ever tonight. And the Acclaimed with the Gunn Club go to therapy. Some of you may need therapy. You know what I need? A cold beverage. Where can we get said cold beverage? In the OTS venue. That's where I'm going. I want to see those ones in the sky for Jay Briscoe. And I got one question for each and every one of you guys. What the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
Guys, thank you so very much for joining us right here on Off the Script. This is your AEW Dynamite post show for January 25th, 2023. I am your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live from the OTS venue. Thank you guys so very much for joining us on your Wednesday evenings, wherever you may be. Oh my goodness, man. Reach for the sky, Jesse. Reach for the sky. What is going on, man?
It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful, beautiful thing. What a show tonight. And we actually talked about this last week. I know Jesse was very adamant about what had happened last week. It was beyond any of our controls. It was beyond Tony Khan's control. We're going to get into that right at the top. But tonight, Jesse, was the right way to go about things. I'm glad everybody kind of banded together here and gave us exactly what we needed, which was this show tonight for Jay Briscoe. And, man, if you aren't shedding at least a couple of tears tonight, I don't even think you're a human being after what you saw tonight.
It felt, the whole night felt very therapeutic.
Yes.
It felt like something that we needed together as a community. Everyone, mourned, on their own and in their own way. But having something like this that we can all centrally gravitate to and mourn together with, I think it was a bigger deal than most might think. I know everyone thinks it was nice, but it might be even better than that. I mean, it was just so good to see, and it felt right. Everything felt right about tonight. Everything felt wrong about last week.
Yeah, and again, like I said, that was beyond anybody's control. I don't think Tony Khan could have done anything last week, but my God, man, the amount of love that we saw for Jay Briscoe last week, continuing obviously into this week with this show, with this announcement of Mark Briscoe making his AEW Dynamite debut, and the backlash that I'm sure that there was for Warner Discovery. They didn't want any more part of that because they had to know. I don't know who there had a gripe with what had happened. I don't know why the decision was made instantly to not allow this to happen last week. I don't know who that person is. I don't know if that person is still there. I don't know if Tony Khan went to somebody else to discuss what had happened tonight, but I'm just glad that everybody came together and really showed that family unity that AEW talks so much about tonight, man. That was one of the best moments, I think, in all 4 years of AEW so far. That
was great, man. I mean, it could have been so many things. It really, maybe TK went over a boss's head to another boss. It could be that. It could be so many different things. I'm not really focused on it too much, though. I mean, because the beautiful thing is that it happened. And I couldn't have asked for a better tribute show. I mean, I really couldn't have. I mean, it just felt so right. And last week just felt so incomplete.
Yeah.
It felt incomplete and insignificant because no one really cared about pro wrestling last week the way that they normally would. And I feel like now that we've got that grieving moment out of our system tonight, we had a chance to pay our respects as fans to Jay and show our respects to Mark and show our support for him. And my hope going forward is that this leads to a TV deal for Mark Briscoe. I would love to see him in AEW full time.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's exactly what I was thinking while watching this match. He is so good at what he does. Yeah. And we'll get into that match with Jay Lethal. Emotional, as you would expect, was that match between those two in the main event spot tonight on AEW Dynamite. I want to start at the top and how all this came about, because last week it was a completely different story and nobody knew coming into tonight that this was going to be the scene on AEW Dynamite. Warner Brothers Discovery, it was reported by Dave Meltzer that they would not allow Mark Briscoe to wrestle in AEW. Brian Alvarez read a question from a fan asking if Mark Briscoe will appear on AEW TV. This was last week. This obviously came out of last week's show, obviously bleeding into this week. Dave Meltzer said that he knows the answer, and it's no. He says, and I quote, "I already know the answer," Meltzer said. "The answer is no. I can't tell you anymore. It could change." And he did say it could change, but that's the answer. Meltzer continued, "Hopefully it'll change, but that is the answer. It could change. Hopefully it does change." It's a very bad answer. Perhaps there will be a fever pitch and it'll get changed. It should change, of course. Tony Khan, as you guys have heard from me speak a couple of times, I believe we mentioned it last week as well, he made several attempts to get the Briscoes on AEW Dynamite, but Warner Brothers Discovery really said no, and they were firm on that. Meltzer stated the following in last week's Observer newsletter, and I quote, "This past year, there were many attempts to get them on AEW. They were actually flown in a few times to television, but they weren't allowed to be used. There were plans for them to be on the 9/4 All Out show in Chicago to be in a 6-man tag with FTR and Wardlow versus the Briscoes and Jay Lethal, but without, and that would have been a tremendous match, just looking back at it. But without being able to promote it on television, and because the broadcast partners didn't want them on AEW broadcasts, the decision was made to bring the Motor City Machine Guns in out of nowhere to team with Lethal. And obviously, as you guys know, the match kind of fell flat because we all knew where that should have been, and that should have been with Jay and Mark Briscoe. Now, I wanna stick with this for just a second. I know Meltzer got a lot of shit on social media this week because after this announcement, Jesse, from Meltzer on his show this week, it legitimately happened, I believe, the same day. Tony Khan put up the graphic, Mark Briscoe one-on-one with Jay Lethal for AEW Dynamite, and this will be the debut of Mark Briscoe in AEW to honor his brother in AEW. I mean, I don't want to sit here and act like a Meltzer Mark, but I'm going to need people to really open their eyes and look at it for what it really is. Meltzer was correct in his reporting. Meltzer was not wrong. The simple fact of the matter is, Meltzer put this out and it was just bad timing. You know, Meltzer said no. The answer was no. We know it was no. Just look at the past history that we've seen with AEW programming and what Tony Khan should have done with the Briscoes and couldn't do. He was not allowed to. And then all of a sudden, the day of, Meltzer's reporting kind of looks half-assed and bullshit. But, you know, I don't even think that everybody was getting on his case, but they would rather get on his case than celebrate the fact that Mark Briscoe is going to be able to honor his brother on Wednesday. And it's like, I'm glad this finally happened because this should have happened last week. We should have never even been in this discussion, and you're blaming Meltzer's reporting, and that's not even the fucking story at all here. It's Mark Briscoe making Dynamite and Tony Khan talking to the bigwigs over at Warner Media, getting it to happen. So I'm going to need you guys to just, especially in this case, I know he's got to take it with a grain of salt type of mentality. Nothing he says is really 100% anymore, but it's not his fault that this was what it was earlier in the week and then it got changed. I'm just glad that it did, Jesse.
Yeah, no, I don't think it was about the report. The report, you know, it is what it is, and people can change their mind. I think it was his ad-libbed in the report. If you read it back, I don't remember exactly what it says, but I think it said something about the report and that it was Warner Media that said he couldn't. And then he went on to say, I don't think it'll ever happen or something like that. And then happened like an hour later. You know, you can't help a report. A report says, hey, Warner Media says, no, it's not going to happen. It is what it is. He went on to put his Meltzer on it, saying, I don't think it's ever going to happen.
Yeah, that's what he typically does, yeah.
It was an opinion. It was a thought, you know, but unfortunately, so many people look to him for information or to criticize his information, either one or the other, you know, one or the other. They're looking to criticize him or live by his words. So when you put it out there, I don't think it's ever going to happen. Then it happens an hour later. It gives the naysayers, you know, everyone has naysayers. You have them, Meltzer has them, Sapp has them. It gives his naysayers plenty of ammo to throw shit in his face.
Yeah. And Tony Khan, I'm sure, seen the backlash on social media, heard the backlash on social media about why it wasn't this and why it wasn't that. You know, I don't want people out here to blame Tony Khan either because, you know, what had happened last Tuesday with his tragic death and then turn around and come Wednesday, you know, you're asking Tony Khan to pull off a fucking God's miracle here and book a tribute show in less than 24 hours. Because I know people were looking at that tribute show, Jesse. I read the spoilers. It's like, what the fuck is this? You got QT Marshall and you got a bunch of, you know, lesser known names on the tribute show. And people are probably looking at that fucking sideways. Like, this is not a fucking tribute show to Jay Briscoe. So it's like, you know, I don't want you guys to blame Tony Khan either because there was really nothing he could do in that meantime. But I know for a fact he heard all the rumors and seen all the fucking chatter on social media about why it didn't happen last week and this and this and this and all the outcry. So you know immediately, bro, on Thursday morning, he went to fucking Warner Media. This might have been a week-long battle that he won legitimately right after Meltzer put this fucking clip or report out in the Observer.
Oh, God, I have faith that Warner Media also took a glimpse at their social media feeds and saw all of the negative attention it was bringing. I mean, the fans had a lot to say about not getting to honor Jay. I mean, for this whole week. See, before they had 24 hours between the time he passed to the next Dynamite. They had 24 hours and not much is going to happen.
No.
You know, like you said, but within that week, my God, dude, people were wishing death upon Warner Media Discovery. And it's just not a good look. it's just not a good look. I mean, what's the harm in giving the fans, what they want when it's within your grasp? I mean, you can do it. Do it.
Yeah.
And that could have been a lot of, I know Tony went to bat for us. I know he did that, but it also could have been a combination of that and the extreme negative backlash that the network did receive.
Now, the dark realm of the idiots on social media, they were blaming Tony Khan for putting this match on Dynamite, and they were using the vehicle of, he's only doing it for ratings. No.
Jesus Christ.
No. I mean, give me a fucking break. Give me a So, yes, he did it for ratings while he's got an entire locker room grieving over Jay Briscoe. Give me a fucking break.
You can't win.
You can't win with nobody.
You can't win.
He did it for ratings. He didn't do anything for ratings. He did the right thing as a human being. You fucking idiot.
Jesus Christ.
Holy shit. God, does social media make me fucking feel dumber than anything.
If you don't do it, your fans are going to be pissed.
Yes.
If you do it, your naysayers are going to be pissed. And since you yourself are a wrestling fan in TK, and most of your fans want to see, then just do what the fans want. I mean, fuck the naysayers. They're going to naysay whatever you do. So it was the right thing to do. Bottom line, it was the right thing to do. And I'm really glad that he went for bat for us. And I'm really glad that it all worked out.
So the pushback from Warner Brothers Discovery, obviously you guys know about that. Khan confirmed that he fought hard to ensure Mark Briscoe had a chance to honor his brother. On Wednesday's Dynamite, Mark obviously wrestled Jay Briscoe in the main event. This was requested by both Jay Lethal and Mark Briscoe. Tony Khan said this, and I quote, "I'm really excited about the match." He said this on the Battleground podcast. "I believe it's going to be a great one, and I think," which it was, "and I think it's great that they're going to be able to honor the legacy of somebody that everybody in pro wrestling has so much respect for, Jay Briscoe." On his 39th birthday, which was today, this Wednesday night on Dynamite, TBS, and with everything happening, this is going to be something really great for everybody in the locker room who is rallying around the Briscoe family. Khan also recalled the shock he experienced upon word of Jay's passing, but said, "It's a beautiful thing that everyone can come together on Wednesday night and honor the life and legacy of Jay Briscoe." Fightful reported those that they spoken to about Mark's debut were overjoyed that he would finally be able to was allowed to get on AEW programming. The report goes on to state that some talent believe that Warner Brothers Discovery executives seem to be wary of having Jay Briscoe on the program as opposed to Mark Briscoe, likely due to Jay being the one who actually said what he said all those years ago. And it has followed both the brothers for most of the past decade. So Mark was kind of in this boat where he was guilty by association, even though he didn't do anything wrong. And that doesn't really make it a viable thing to keep Jay Briscoe's name off the fucking show when he had his life taken from him tragically and unfairly. So that's kind of bullshit. But obviously, everything is all right now. Tony Khan made it happen. He talked to the executives over at Warner Brothers Discovery. And Jesse, he's actually doing things behind the scenes to help the family of Jay Briscoe. Fundraiser is closing in on $300,000. Tony Khan put up a new T-shirt, which I think I'm going to actually purchase tomorrow myself. All of the proceeds, not 25, 50%, all of the proceeds go to the Briscoe family. Tony Khan is also doing a lot behind the scenes to help the family, but he chose not to publicize it. And Conrad Thompson said this: "I don't mean to betray any confidences, but let me say this. There's been a lot of rumor and innuendo from really good sources that Tony Khan is who we thought he was, and he's going to do the right thing by that family as well. I don't think that he would necessarily want anyone to know that information, and we know it's not your place to talk about it, but I will say that for all the criticism that gets thrown around at Tony this and Tony that, when the chips are down, he is a dude, man." And he was talking to Tony Schiavone, and Schiavone said that Tony is a very demanding boss, and it makes, time there sometimes stressful, difficult. But wrestling has always been difficult behind the scenes. Tony can be very demanding as a boss, but because he's such a great person and such a genuine person and loves the wrestling business and takes care of his people, it's worth it working for him. It's worth the stress that we go through getting a show on because of the person that he is. I know a lot of people give Tony a hard time, but the people that give Tony a hard time basically online are human beings not worth a fuck, says Tony Schiavone. And a lot of different people in the community donated. Kevin Owens We got Ryan Barkin, who is the guy behind Pro Wrestling Tees, Jim Cornette, Dax Harwood, Chris Jericho, Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks. I mean, you name it. Everybody's given to this donation, this family donation. But again, man, it just goes to show you. We said this last week, when Tony Khan is put in this very position, in this situation, he has absolutely come out as the fucking man every single time. When AEW's down like this, man, Tony Khan has been the absolute true leader that this company needs, and he doesn't get enough credit, bro. I'm sorry. We give him a hard time sometimes, basically, around the creative aspect of it, but when it comes to this type of shit, man, nobody does it better.
Yeah, and I think, there's probably a handful of people, on this stream right now who are not necessarily here on a daily basis. And they're going to, look at us and hear us and think, oh, these guys are just a bunch of AEW dick riders, no matter what they're going to do. And I mean, we are just as critical when shit is really bad, just
Always.
as anywhere else. And
Always. And let me tell you something, firsthand experience, because, I see what I see, I hear what I hear, and I get what I get on social media from pretty notable fucking people. I will say this, sometimes we're not in their good graces, but I want everybody to understand it's love. We care about the show, and when it's bad or when it's not to our liking, we will criticize it just like anything else. And I don't know why I have to repeat myself, but we love AEW and we love pro wrestling. That's the most important thing here in this discussion.
And it is. And on that note, did you tweet out your latest block? Everybody know?
Oh, that Swerve blocked me again? No,
Yeah.
I didn't really.
Now you just told them so.
Yes, Swerve. I don't know where Swerve. First of all, I don't know where Swerve is. I don't know where Keith Lee is. But Swerve blocked me again because I'm assuming it has to do something with the fact of the matter that I did shit wrong.
I want to say this to.
Why is there reverb in here, bro?
Anyone.
It's very
in that
echoey in the
locker
venue,
room,
bro.
In any locker room that may get wind of this show or watch this show and not like the opinions of the show, I don't understand how, if you don't like the opinions and the thoughts, I understand that part. But if you don't like the opinions and the thoughts, then you block us. But if we kiss your ass and put everything you do over, then you're happy and unblocking. I mean, you got to understand that you yourself may not be perfect. No one is. I'm not. No one is. So if you had an off night, you know it. You know it. You've been doing this shit. You know when this wasn't your best shit. And if someone calls you out on it, why get mad? Why put yourself out there if you watching and listening to everything everyone says? Just improve or don't give a shit. One or the other. One or the other. You know, why go around blocking people who don't like what you do? I don't understand that, man.
I don't know, man. You know, it is what it is. I'm not going to change for anything. If I ever come across these people in House of Glory or whatnot, I'll be the first to fucking offer a handshake. I got nothing but respect for these. I listen, man. A lot of people think I hate or I'm a hateful person. I love this sport. I've wanted to be involved in this sport since I was like 4 years old, bro. I mean, this is what I wanted to do. I'm very fortunate that I found an outlet for myself via YouTube and this podcast and my creativity to give you guys this show every night. But, you know, it is what it is. They don't understand that. I don't know. I don't want to get stuck on that. I don't want to make it about us. But, you know, it's great.
Not personal.
Yeah, no, it's not personal.
It's not. Hi, Brittany. It's not personal.
It's not personal. Is Britt hurt? She's not hurt, right?
She got her nose broken again on Dark.
Did she really?
Yeah, man, she got fucked up.
Oh my God.
I don't mean, look,
Hi,
I'm
Brett.
not laughing at the fact that
I'm
laughing
sorry,
at the fact that she seems to get
she was
her
on the
nose
show
broken.
tonight. I mean, listen, man, I
she
gotta
seems
give
to
the
get her
woman,
nose
I gotta
broken
give the
every
woman
week.
credit, man. You know, listen, I'm not gonna divulge any information that we've talked about, but you know, we've gone back and forth, and I apologize for whatever had happened earlier in October. But you know, she said, and you know, blatantly told me, you know, I'm there every fucking week. I got to give the woman credit, man. With a fucking broken nose, I'll be laid up on the fucking couch with a goddamn fucking coffee in my hand. She's over here fucking on the show, and no matter what, she's on the goddamn show.
She's there. I mean, and again, I laugh lightheartedly because I know she's okay because she came out tonight.
Yes,
but yeah, it seems like she breaks her nose. Like
her nose is
week.
cursed.
Jesus Christ, man.
I mean,
I mean, but she put on a banger of a match. I mean, she was on Dark, and it wasn't a squash. You know, she put on a banger of a match. I forget who she was facing. I think it was
Billy Starks,
Miss Dubois.
Oh, Dubois. Okay.
Nonetheless, she made her opponent look great. It was a great little match. You know, they probably went about 6-7 minutes or whatever, which is a lifetime on Dark. And it's a good little spot. I mean, again, I'm going to put Dark over on this stream every time that I can because it's been so many weeks. It's been terrible. We're getting reoccurring storylines and we're getting occasional big stars on the show. That's all we ask. And they're doing that. I'm happy with the course of Dark right now.
Listen, man, Tony Khan has hit all the right buttons. It's only January 25th, bro. He's hit all the right buttons. He's making the right moves. He's got the right people on television. Things are flowing from week to week. That's all I ask. That's all I want. You know, so we're getting it, and he's killing it so far. Dynamite is on fire, and tonight, an emotional show with Mark Briscoe, and I'm glad that it happened. Tony Khan deserves a lot of credit. Whoever he spoke to at Warner Media deserves a nice round of applause as well, even though they fucked up the first time. They were, they came to their senses. So no fuck Warner Media and this and that. Nobody wants the backlash. Nobody wants the negativity. It made AEW look bad. Warner doesn't want that. Tony Khan doesn't want that for AEW. So everybody came together and cooler heads prevailed here.
Yeah, we do need to now stop and cease the Warner Media hate because we poured it on when we felt that we were being deprived of something as we should have. But they did give in and give us what we wanted. Now we need to back off. All right. Yeah. I mean, what else can they do at this point? They gave us exactly what we wanted. We are happy. If you're not happy, you should be happy because that was a damn good tribute show. And let's just back off. We don't have to sing their praises, but at the same time, let's stop slamming them for right now.
Yeah, that's going to come to an end. And I think the Jay Briscoe Tribute Celebration airs at 1 Eastern. If you guys want to go check that out on YouTube. So by the time this show is over on AEW, I believe AEW and Ring of Honor's YouTube. I don't know if it's AEW. I have to double check, but definitely Ring of Honor's YouTube. The Life and Celebration tribute to Jay Briscoe on YouTube, 1 a.m. So you guys will have something to watch after you finish watching OTS tonight. So that's awesome news there. Just seen that come across my news feed, and that is going to be awesome. Watch along. You going to do a live watch along?
I should. I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, see what you got going on. No Destiny for you tonight, huh?
Yeah, I know, right? Jeez, man.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you. While Jesse's looking that up, I want to thank you guys for joining us on Off the Script tonight, man. Big show tonight. Very happy. Big week. Can't wait for the Royal Rumble on Saturday. I'm hearing some rumblings that we may be in for several surprises in that Rumble. And I don't know what I got planned, but I'll be doing something maybe on Twitter with some spaces. I may do something tomorrow live. I think actually I will do something live for Off the Script. I don't know if it's going to be Rumble related, but it may just be a nice 2-hour podcast because Thursday's my day off. I got nothing else to do, so you guys will see me live in the sub boxes, so make sure you guys set that notification. And follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. Great way to keep up to date on everything. Jesse is at Chi-Town Smark on Twitter. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. And please, guys, 581 likes right now. I need 1,000 likes minimum on the podcast. We got 2,200 people in the venue tonight. I appreciate y'all coming by. Super chats are open. Get them on in. Let me know what you thought of tonight's show. Let me know what you thought of Jay Briscoe. Maybe tell me one of your favorite Jay Briscoe memories. And memberships, man. Hit that join button. Become a channel member right here on OTS. And become a VIP in the OTS venue. Jesse, who you got winning the Royal Rumble on Saturday?
Ooh.
You going with the Cody?
I'm never one to stick to the easy picks, man. I'm not gonna go with the horse. I'm gonna go with the dog, man. So I'm gonna go out there and say, although I think his moment's gonna come at the Chamber, I'm gonna take a leap and say Sami Zayn.
You're gonna say Sami Zayn winning the Royal Rumble?
Yeah, I think his moment, realistically, his moment might just be coming at the Chamber. But I'm hoping he gets it at the Rumble.
You know, I hear a lot of people telling me that they would prefer Sami Zayn over Cody Rhodes. And listen, I've been pushing the Cody narrative ever since he got surgery for the torn pec. But I will say this. If Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns was the main event of WrestleMania, if Sami Zayn won the World Championship from Roman Reigns, that would be on level of a pop to Bryan Danielson winning the World Championship at WrestleMania. At WrestleMania 30.
That would be awesome.
That would be fucking incredible. I don't know if that's going to actually happen. I don't know if the company sees Sami Zayn in that role. But if Sami Zayn was to win the Royal Rumble, you get zero complaints out of me. I love Sami Zayn.
Yeah, be honest. I think Sami and Cody are the two to get their moments at the Rumble and at the Chamber.
Yeah, definitely. First match of the night, guys. Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara, Les Sex Gods. How do you become a Les Sex God, Jesse?
You got to be Jericho. That's the only way.
Oh, that's the only way? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No one else can make that shit get over but him. Yeah.
Okay. They're out there with Daniel Garcia. They went up against Ricky Starks and Action Andretti. This was a very, very good match. Everybody was on here. Everybody looked very good. Sammy looked great out there. Jericho looked great. Starks, love seeing Ricky Starks on the show constantly, every week. Nice momentum he's building. Action Andretti probably looked the best I've seen him so far in this little mini Action Andretti run of momentum here. And the Jericho Appreciation Society got a big win, which I assume is going to set up a Starks-Jericho match at Revolution, but this was really, really good. Hot crowd. Everybody was into this. Jericho and Starks, they made their tags into the match. That's what everybody really came for. Guevara and Andretti started it off. Andretti landed a Spanish fly at one point here for a 2 count. Like I said, Jericho and Starks made their tags, came in, immediately had a chop battle right in the middle of the ring. Starks went up top. He did his strut on the top rope, and Sammy Guevara walked up to the top rope and tightrope walked the top rope and did a cutter to stop Ricky Starks' strut on the top. Man, that looked fucking great. Sammy Guevara is so good, man.
He is. And his go away heat for his out of the ring antics is quickly wearing off for me.
Yes.
I'm way back on the Sammy Guevara hype train, man. He's so good.
Yeah, it was actually a very good. I know a lot of people probably looked at it like, oh man, the same shit again. But Jericho is a master with the talent, and he probably, I would be shocked if Jericho didn't request Sammy to come back into the JAS and just help him kind of heal his wounds after what had happened on his own. This was probably a Jericho call, and Jericho knows that he's a golden ticket for the talent. He basically revitalized Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, he definitely he got Sammy over originally when the company launched, but between him and his fights and then Tay Conti, he seemed to have put a huge dent in his popularity. But yeah, Jericho is seriously in the process of restoring that. So good on him.
So Jericho and Guevara, they were posing. Starks got double boots up on a diving Guevara. Andretti made the hot tag. Multiple backbreaker, neckbreaker combos. Topes. Starks hit a swinging DDT on Guevara while Andretti hit a springboard moonsault for 2. Andretti and Guevara collided on a double crossbody. Jericho and Starks tagged in again. Starks caught a spear on Jericho for a close 2. Then Jericho tried for a code breaker. Starks countered into a beautiful-looking Liger bomb. Andretti tried to the split-legged moonsault, but Jericho got his knees up as Guevara made the hot tag. He couldn't get the GTH on him and Aiden Inzaguri from Action Andretti. Jericho ran the distraction here, started brawling with Starks on the outside. Andretti hit a beautiful Poison Rana, Hangman's neck breaker on Guevara for 2. Starks on the outside hit his finish, Rochambeau on Jericho, took him out of the match. Guevara tried for a springboard cutter, missed. Garcia jumps on the ring apron and smacked Andretti in the face with Floyd, the baseball bat. Aubrey did not see it as her attention was obviously somewhere else. Guevara hit the GTH, got the pin on Andretti, and that was the open of Dynamite. Everybody looked good here. Everybody hit their offense. It looked great. The distraction got enough heat on the JAS to continue this moving on into February, which I'm assuming will get another few weeks of Jericho and Starks in some way, shape, or form that will eventually lead to the one-on-one match that I am very much looking forward to because, like I said, Jericho's the golden ticket with the talent. He's put over everybody and gotten everybody to the next level, and I see no different with Ricky Starks. So I'm looking for Jericho to really continue doing what he does great, and that is build the future of AEW.
I don't know what they're paying this man.
He's making a pretty penny, I'm sure.
To the rest of the talent, I'm not sure what they're paying him. But but there's no way it can be enough.
No.
It just can't be enough. I would hate to see where where the morale in that locker room would be, where some of these younger talents would be on the card without the help of Chris Jericho. It just seems to be God's gift to a promoter to have a talent like this who carries the name value that he carries and who's willing to put so many young talent over. And not only that, he doesn't just, go beat me and that's it. No, he's helping. Jericho is the master of getting any gimmick over, his own or someone else's. He's the one who labeled Sammy the lust sex god. He did all of this shit, and it never stops. Whatever he wants to touch, he seems to get it over with the fucking fans.
Bro, you want to know why? You want to know why? He's a wizard, bro.
He's a fucking wizard.
He's a wizard.
Man.
I mean, everybody thinks it's a joke. Everybody thinks he's throwing fireballs everywhere. He's a fucking wizard.
It's amazing. I don't know what he's getting
Harry
paid,
Potter's
man,
got shit, bro. Harry Potter's got shit on Chris Jericho.
It cannot be enough. He's so good at what he does.
Anyway, moving on here. We got a video package or a nice vignette of Jay Briscoe and his family and all these clips of Jay Briscoe right after this match. This one was definitely a tearjerker. Video package aired on the Briscoes, including a lot of family videos, including one of his daughter, which got me, and I couldn't help it here. His daughter saying that her daddy is crazy, but she loves him, and Excalibur pushed the main event and said it will be a very, very special main event with Mark Briscoe making his AEW Dynamite debut against Jay Lethal. Excellent stuff there. Whoever's in charge of that video package and the choice of music there, it was just incredible. I know you were watching it before I even logged into the thing here tonight to get you on the phone here.
I watched it again, man. It was just so good. It was so good. I mean, you don't see too many people like that where in the ring they come off as a vicious killer, and outside of the ring he just has a smile that can just light up a room. He's out there dancing, doing cheerleader dances with his little girl. I mean, he just feels like an amazing human being. And the more you see how much of a great person he was, it just upsets you that he's just not here anymore.
Yeah,
it sucks, man.
Darby Allin, TNT Championship, open challenge again. Don't really like that we're getting all these open challenges. I mentioned this last week. I love Darby. I think what he's doing with the TNT title is very much Darby Allin. But I love a story with the TNT title, something that we can sink our teeth into. We may be getting that at the end of this match with Samoa Joe making his return and challenging again for the title next week. He went one-on-one with Buddy Matthews. We don't see enough Buddy Matthews on their show. I think Buddy Matthews is fucking phenomenal. He was phenomenal on this match. I asked on social media. I don't know how Buddy Matthews was let go by WWE. Vince is a fucking idiot. He's got listen, he's not perfect. Obviously, he's a very stoic individual. He's not the best promo, but my God, man, I would put Buddy Matthews, and some of you may think I'm crazy, I would put Buddy Matthews up against legitimately anybody in the fucking world, bro. That's how good he is. Osprey, fucking Okada, anybody, but he is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, Vince has wasted, he's wasted more talented than Buddy Murphy. Not saying that Buddy Murphy isn't talented, but Vince has wasted a lot of talented fucking people.
Yes, I know. He's just one casualty of many, I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Darby made his way out, and we got the commentary team putting over the match this weekend in Japan with Sting and Great Muta. Muta's final match. So Darby's going to be teaming with those guys. That's got to be fucking great for Darby. That's got to be unbelievable for him. Buddy Matthews came out, and Buddy Matthews is out there with Julia Hart, who I'm still trying to get to curse Jesse for good. It's got to happen. Maybe my next trip to Chicago, man, we'll get Lee Johnson and Julia Hart out for a couple of cold beverages, and she can curse you right at the dinner table. She'll come to the restaurant, bro, dressed the way she was tonight. Like the fucking Undertaker.
Dude, I got beat up by her when she was a cheerleader. I'm not trying to run into this girl right now, man.
Oh, I'd love to. That would be even better.
Not even. She got to find me, Jack. Sorry.
Anyway, This was a great match. I love this match. Very hard hitting, as you would expect by both guys. Matthews landed a high knee at the start, tossed Darby around ringside right into the barricade. Loving those new barricades. They're really impactful, but, Darby, he'll fly into anything. It doesn't really matter. Darby made a comeback before returning to the ring. Hit a dive on Matthews through the ropes. Matthews caught him, slammed him onto the ring apron, which looked devastating. Then he swung him into the ringside barricade again, back and forth. Darby reversed Matthews into the barricade seconds later after that. Around 4 minutes into the match, the lights go out. When they came back on, Brody King and Malachi Black were standing in the aisleway. Ortiz ran out with a kendo stick and bashed Brody in the back. Malachi attacked him. Sting joined in with a baseball bat. And then they all brawled to the back and they disappeared during a commercial break, leaving Darby and Buddy Matthews back in the ring. Quickly, I just want to go over this little this light going out gimmick. I don't like it. I don't like it to happen during a match. I think we see it all the time. There's no reason why Malachi and Brody King just can't walk down to the fucking ring. Why does the lights need to go out and them just magically appear in the aisleway? Oh my God! The first thing that I think when the lights go out is like, oh shit, who's coming out? Is it a new debut somewhere on the roster? New addition to the House of Black? I don't like it.
Exactly. They need a little bit of a different way to signify that they're gonna come out. Because I agree. Lights going out and coming back on. We're expecting something. I mean, not just a couple of guys that are here every week. I mean, but it's fine. I mean, I don't know. They're the House of Black, and if the House of Black is out there, I'm expecting the lights to go out. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a little overdone for my liking. I mean, save it for their entrance or whatnot. I mean, for them to be introduced to the audience in the middle of a match, the lights got to go out. I mean, I think AEW would have learned their lesson by now, but apparently not. Just a minor criticism. I don't want to make a big deal out of it. So they come back from break, and both of these guys are going back and forth. Matthews landed a buckle bomb and a curb stomp. I wonder where he got that from on Darby for a near fall. Darby made a comeback, climbed to the top rope. Matthews stood and knocked Darby off balance. Darby managed to execute a top rope scorpion death drop for a near fall. Don't know how Buddy Matthews kicked out of that. I'm sure Sting was very pleased about that one.
Yeah, top rope.
And not in a good way.
My move.
Yeah. Darby followed up with a coffin drop as Matthews was bent over, draped over the middle rope, right into his back, landed in the ring. 1, 2, 3, and Darby retains the TNT Championship over Buddy Matthews in a great match for that title. After the match was over, we got Samoa Joe, who appeared on the big screen during the post-match where Tony Schiavone gets into the ring. I mean, this was ridiculous. I mean, the guy just fucking wrestled one of the best wrestlers on the planet for 14 minutes, and Tony Schiavone's in there not even letting this guy catch his breath. I'm like, holy shit. He let the fucking guy get to his feet first before he started asking him questions. So he's in there.
Schiavone was trying to stall for time.
I know. So he's in there asking Darby for a word before he could say anything and answer any of Tony's questions. Samoa Joe interrupted on the big screen. Joe says he's coming to take everything from Darby, and he's coming to take back what is rightfully his. Allin winning the title is the biggest mistake of his career, as the king has spoken. So he's still running with the King of Television gimmick. He sounded menacing as ever. I love Samoa Joe, and we got this rubber match happening next week, bro. TNT title. Billed as a no-holds-barred match. Can you imagine what Darby Allin's going to do to Samoa Joe next week in a no-holds-barred match?
I'm more worried about what Samoa Joe's going to do to Darby Allin.
I'm more worried about what Darby's going to do to himself. Never mind Samoa Joe.
Exactly, dude. Jesus Christ, man.
Anyway, should be a great match. I figured they'd save it for the pay-per-view, but it looks like we're getting this match next week.
Pay-per-view is pretty far away, man. They have time right now to wrap up some feuds and start another. They have a month.
Yeah.
They have over a month to start new ones. I mean, continuing feuds from now through the next month is going to be creatively a little bit difficult to keep it interesting, you know.
I wonder if we see
right about now and save the big feud to carry out, you know, so they have to carry everything out for a month.
I wonder if we see Wardlow a little bit closer to the pay-per-view, man. Very ominous. Yeah. Who's that? War Dog, bro. Well, Wardlow. I wonder if we see Wardlow getting closer to the pay-per-view. You think we see him come back and maybe go one-on-one with Joe at the pay-per-view for what he did to his hair?
He has no man bun. He has no credibility, man. Nobody's caring about Wardlow anymore, man. Sorry.
Maybe absence makes the heart grow fonder, man. I don't know.
What did they do to Wardlow, man? What the?
I don't know. He's off TV. It's like he doesn't even exist anymore.
Was there an injury? Is there some time off he requested?
I don't know.
The fuck,
You want to
man?
ask him?
Yeah.
Yo, Wardlow, bro, where are you, man?
This hot, cold push, don't push, start, stop shit is not good for
I got
anyone.
a couple questions still. Where's Wardlow? Where's Miro? No Miro yet. Why is the House of Black not in anything major yet? I hope to God that they do something at the pay-per-view that's substantial, right? Well, why are we still running with some of the same problems that were a problem last year? I don't get it.
Again, goes back to we call it like we see it. The
House of Black should be on TV every week. No excuses.
The show is on an upswing, but it's not perfect. And these are the imperfect parts, man.
Adam Cole, at least Adam Cole is back. Adam Cole's going to have a major role on this show. His return happened last week, or a couple weeks ago, rather. Footage of him training in the ring prior to the show. He's shown looking at the banner for Revolution. So I think it's safe to assume that Adam Cole will be wrestling his first match back in AEW at the pay-per-view on Revolution Saturday. Who does he go up against? I don't know.
Shall see.
Maybe it's a mystery opponent. I don't know. I don't know who. Somebody's gonna have to feud him, right?
So they look, man. I don't
Maybe
know
it's Darby.
on there.
I don't know.
Wardlow and Miro are complete mysteries to the fans right now, and that shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be. If they're out hurt, then I get it. If they're not hurt, then it shouldn't be. They should be somewhere, somehow on television.
I don't know. Fucking unsolved mystery over here with all these guys. Anyway, moving on. Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, and Hook. Tag team match against Ethan Page and Matt Hardy with Stokely Hathaway and Isaiah Cassidy. There was a lot of picture-in-picture for this match. Could have been a little bit better than what it was. So, similar to what had happened in previous weeks here, Hathaway and Page talked down to Matt Hardy and Cassidy during their entrance. Isaiah Cassidy did not agree with the way things are being handled here, and Stokely Hathaway bullied him for his gold chain. And what exactly is going on here, bro? Because I'm assuming this happened on Dark, this storyline with Ethan Page and Matt Hardy. Can you fill us in on what is going on here and why Hardy and Ethan Page seemingly have this unbalanced relationship and why Stokely is, acting the way that he is here? What's going on here?
Well, it's
because I don't watch Dark, so I don't know.
Well, it's very simple. I don't get why you don't understand it. See, Ethan Page and Stokely Hathaway bought the rights to the Twist of Fate, right? So then Matt Hardy couldn't.
What do you mean? They paid Matt Hardy for the Twist of Fate?
No, they bought the IP for it.
How much is the Twist of Fate worth?
So
it's a legitimate question. How much is the Twist of Fate worth?
I'm trying to fucking explain, man. So now the Twist of Fate is owned by Ethan Page, right? So therefore, he somehow owns Matt Hardy if Matt Hardy wants his gimmick back, because somehow Stokely has managed to secure the rights, I think, of all the Hardy IP. I don't know. So now Matt Hardy is just working for Ethan Page. And I'm sorry, man. This is the continuing storyline that we have. It's all we have, man.
So what you're telling me in so many words is Matt Hardy's going to have nothing remaining of him from the Hardy Bros era, and he's going to turn back into broken Matt Hardy. Is that what you're telling me?
Broken.
Say again?
He's already teased to turn broken.
So we're going back to broken Matt Hardy. Are you okay with that decision? You don't want to see any Hardy at all on television?
I mean, look, I've grown accustomed to seeing Hardy on TV, and I don't actually mind the storyline that they're doing. But no, we don't want to see broken Matt back. No.
I mean, listen. I think Matt Hardy is a creative fucking guy. I loved the broken gimmick at the height of its popularity. I thought it was fantastic. Everybody was so high on him. Where would he fit in a current AEW if this is the direction that they're going? Well, like, what would he do, man? I feel like it would be, and I don't mean this in a disparaging and a disrespectful way. I would feel like it's Matt Hardy trying to hang on to whatever relevancy he and that gimmick have, and I feel like it would be no better than Danhausen, bro. And I love it. I love the broken gimmick. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know where it fits in the current scheme of direction of AEW television, because it doesn't.
No, I think it's run its course. I think he needs, like you say, he's the creative guy. If he's gonna stay in an active role, he needs to create something else. Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, was fantastic back in his day, but when he went away and came back, he's not trying to be that exact same gimmick. He recreated something different. Jericho is the king of recreating himself. He changes himself every time he leaves and comes back. It's a different gimmick. It needs to be the same here for Matt Hardy. If he's going to stay active and on television, I think he needs to come up with a different gimmick, because he's fading in and out between these extreme Hardy Boys gimmick and the broken delete shit. And I think it has run its course. I think his value would be as a coach / producer / manager at this point. And if he has to be used on screen, it needs to be like in a Legends role, more like Billy Gunn, something like that.
Yeah, I agree. Him as an agent or a producer for the tag team division would be exactly where he would need to be.
Yes.
Who knows? There's nobody better. I mean, holy shit.
Yeah.
And AEW uses their legends very well. I mean, that's one of the best things about the company, the way that they utilize their legends. I mean, it would be no different than anything else with Matt Hardy. And I know a lot of people are wondering where Jeff is. The last thing that Jeff needs to be doing is wrestle.
Yeah.
It was wrestling. He needs to get sober and needs to get better and needs to, re-heal himself after fucking years and years of abuse. Maybe he makes one last comeback. We don't know, but that's the last thing that anybody should be thinking about for Jeff Hardy.
No, we don't. Look, bringing Jeff Hardy back after driving DUI when we just lost Jay Briscoe in a fucking car accident. No.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you. So I wish Jeff the best, and he would be another one that would be great in a backstage role, producer role. This guy has managed to get himself over, for decades. That is usable experience right there. So, and like you said, AEW has done fantastic with their legends, not named Jeff Jarrett, but I do not want to see the Hardy Boys on television in 2023. And there's nothing against them. It's a new game for a younger talent. And we only have 2 hours of live TV. Let's let the younger breed get out there and show what they have to do.
Younger breed like Hook and Jungle Boy. Jack Perry here. This match started with Ethan Page and Jungle Boy. They both squared off in the middle of the ring. Ethan shoved Hook, then ran out of the ring. Hook went after him, chased him at ringside. Ethan blocked the suplex set up for an Ego's Edge at ringside. Jungle Boy broke that up. We go to commercial break. Most of the match, like I said before, happened in the commercial break. Hardy had Jungle Boy down after a side effect. Ethan insisted Hardy tag him in before Hardy could hit the twist of fate. So Jungle Boy countered a very cocky Ethan Page here with a snare trap. Hardy reached for the tag. Hook yanked Hardy off the ring apron. Ethan tapped out to the snare trap and Jungle Boy. Hook and Jungle Boy win in about 9 minutes. And that was basically all she wrote here. Jungle Hook. I like the tag team. I don't know where they go, though.
I think they're gonna keep them together. I think they should. Because if not, what are you doing with them?
Nothing. Hook's got nothing to do, and Jungle Boy's waiting for Christian Cage to get back.
Waiting for Christian Cage to come back. Keep them together. Let them do what they do in the tag. There'd be a fresh look in the tag division. Let's see them do some damage there. You separate them, and you got to find something for both of them to do. Keep them together, and you have something for both of them to do.
I'd like to see them make a run at possible tag team titles later this year. I think that would be fantastic, and it would give Jungle Boy's been there since the very beginning. He's matured into his own character and his own man. Basically, he's not a boy anymore. He's developed into his own man, and I think Hook could learn a lot from Jungle Boy, being around him and getting a piece of that spotlight with Jungle Boy, who's incredibly over. I think it's nothing but a positive, to be quite honest with you.
The Jay Briscoe show has been taken down.
What are you talking about? It doesn't air till 1 a.m.
The stream was up and it was taken down.
Well, somebody made a fuck up then.
It was removed. It was the premiere was set. I was ready for it. I'm sitting there looking, and it's gone. They just took it down.
I don't know why. I just read an article saying that they were planning on premiering it at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
1 a.m. Eastern on YouTube.
Let me see if
somebody might have made a boo-boo. Don't know how you make that fuck up, because that's a pretty blatant fuck up to go into YouTube and say publish.
They did. They had it up there. Let me see if Tony took it. If Tony said anything about it.
Oh, wait a minute. What you mean the
tribute show? Yeah,
the one that he filmed last week.
Yeah. It was set for a premiere at 1 a.m.
Oh, I'm looking at it now. It says this video is now private.
Yeah.
Huh. And I wonder what happened there.
I don't know. What the hell?
I don't know.
I can't do a live stream when there's no stream.
I don't know.
Okay.
No idea. Maybe it was taking away from Power Slap.
Oh, what the fuck out of here.
Fucking dumbass show. Holy shit.
But the Briscoes shouldn't be on TV.
Yeah.
Give me a fucking break. Dude.
Someone's going to die on that show, bro. Legitimately, someone's going to die on that show. Imagine.
Give me a fucking break.
Anyway, Hook and Jack Perry win in about 9 minutes. Decent little fun there. I'd like to see them continue to team. So we'll see what happens moving into the future. Wondering what they got going on at the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
We got a family therapy session. Sometimes we need therapy just being on fucking Twitter. Never mind. Fucking Billy Gunn, Max Caster, and Anthony Bowens with the Gunn Club. And we're sitting around a nice little round table here, or nice little circle of just airing their grievances with this very attractive young therapist. Don't know who she was. She did look very familiar. Apparently, people were telling me she is an Impact knockout.
Ah, okay.
There you go.
All right.
Forgot her name, but she was there. Guns talked about how Billy wasn't a dad because he was always on the road. Bowen says they are pieces of shit because they had a chance to fix it and chose not to. Caster said he has no sympathy for them. Austin says they were there for them, but they named them the Ass Boys. Gunn cut off their arguing and said he gets both of their perspectives. Colton said their faults are a result of Billy's faults as a father. Billy asked what would make them happy. The Gunn said the belts would make them happy. Now, when Billy was asked that question, bro, Billy asked what would make them happy, and the Gunn says the belts would make them happy.
Brilliant.
You know, I listened to that, and I thought to what you said, and you've been saying it, and I'm starting to believe it a little bit more, bro. Yes. Billy may actually do one for his sons and give his sons the titles here and say, hey, you know, you're my sons. I'm going to align with you, and he's going to turn on the Acclaimed here.
Turning on the Acclaim and costing them the tag titles to go to the Ass Boys.
Major heat.
Major fucking heat. And it creates another chase for the Acclaim. I like this.
It's going to be a decent pay-per-view match, I'd say. You know, listen, I said it last week. The Guns are growing on me. I think both of them have... There's something about them. I can't put my finger on it yet. They're just the right amount of prick. And they get legitimate heat, and it's good heat too. It's not like fucking Baron Corbin heat. It's good heat. Like you could fucking feel people hate them for all the right reasons. I love it.
Yeah. No, I see someone saying, is that the right move to have the Acclaim lose to the Ass Boys? It's not the right move to have them lose clean to the Ass Boys.
No. You got to set up another match where the Acclaim can get the titles back after a nice little run by the Gun Club. I don't think the Gun Club are going to be tag team champions for a long-term run.
No, they can hold it to the next pay-per-view. They can hold it for a couple of months. Yeah. They'll be fine. But if they're gonna lose because they trusted Billy and he's gonna screw them when they didn't see it coming and then go back with his sons, they're not losers. They get screwed over. They trusted someone when they shouldn't have, and then they'll get back to that mountaintop. That gives the tag team titles a little bit of juice from one pay-per-view to the next. So I like it.
Apparently, the therapist was. I'm sorry, again.
I'm sorry. Plus, does that now give Jungle Hook something to do for a few weeks? Because now that we have the tag champs as heels, now we can put Jungle Hook against them.
It's a possibility.
You know, so
One thing I take away from this, youth.
yes.
Youth.
I like it.
Future. Love it.
Yes.
The therapist's name was Tiffany Nieves.
Okay.
Tiffany Nieves. Looking good, says Steven Vandelli. Bro, listen, don't let Abaddon get wind of that, bro. You'll be in big trouble.
Right.
Come on, man. Yeah, she was very attractive. I'm looking at 750 likes in the venue. Why? There's 2,100 plus in here. I need 1,000. You guys know how to add? You guys know how to hit the thumbs up? It turns blue. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Super chats are open. Get them on in. Come on.
Where's my fucking tribute show, man?
I don't know, man. Maybe somebody fucked up. I don't know.
Guys, I know we posted something at the top of the chat, but if there is no Briscoe tribute show, then I can't do a live stream with it. So I'm waiting for them to post it back up there.
Renee Paquette interviewed Adam Hangman Page for a second week in a row. She asked him to elaborate on what he's expecting next. Hangman said, the more he tries to look forward, he ends up looking back to Ohio, where things started with him and Jon Moxley. He said next week they're in Dayton, Ohio. He said he'd like to try to knock him out. Wheeler Yuta interrupted and said it will be impossible for him to knock out Moxley. He said he's not there this week, but he accepts his challenge for Jon Moxley on his behalf. He then challenged Hangman to a match on Friday, this coming Friday on Rampage. Hangman asks why Yuta thinks what happened to Moxley won't happen to him as well. So we got a nice little match there with Hangman and Wheeler Yuta, and a very straightforward promo by Adam Page. He did not really elaborate on what had been said last week, where it was the camera still rolling and he was talking to Renee as if it was just a regular shooting the shit backstage. And it was very straightforward, man. Nothing really new here. No new information from Hangman. Yeah. But we will talk about Wheeler Yuta, man. Wheeler Yuta was a big topic of discussion in not a good way tonight because Bryan Danielson wrestled Brian Cage in the very next match. Dayton, Ohio, bro. You know, Ohio is big for Pro Wrestling Revolver and my guy, Sami Callihan. You know, I hear he's a free agent coming up. I hear he's going to be a free agent, man. What do you think about Sami Callihan joining Jon Moxley in AEW?
I don't know, man. I'm going to be honest. It feels like a big name like Sami Callihan could get lost in the AEW shuffle just because of the lack of TV time. I actually think he would do better in the E, to be honest with you.
Would Triple H keep him the way that he is right now? You know, you deviate away from what Sami Callihan is and take just what he does and lessen it. It's going to be less impactful.
Yeah. Oh God, you have to keep him the same. If anything, make him more intense. You know, but we're trying to get Miro.
Yeah.
We're trying to get Wardlow. What's gonna happen to Sami Callihan?
I don't know. Sami Callihan's so good he can main event any show on any continent. It doesn't matter. I mean,
I would rather see Sami Callihan on the Raw after WrestleMania attack Cody Rhodes.
Well, Cody Rhodes may be the world champion by then. Who knows?
Yep.
We'll see.
What I would. Sammy would have a lot more purpose in the E, and I'm never one to sit here and, I mean, barring any Vince McMahon creative takeover, Sami Callihan in WWE attacking Cody Raw after Mania be huge.
Mick Foley got younger.
Yeah, pretty much, you know.
Who brought Mick back to the E? Vince, that's Sammy. Sami Zayn. We have him on SmackDown.
We got a Sami Zayn already.
We can't have two Sammys. It's spelled the same way as well. Get him out of here, Bruce.
Fucking shit, man.
Ridiculous. Anyway, Bryan Danielson versus Brian Cage, part of the MJF Challenge. My God, man, I'm hearing Brian Cage is a free agent as well. Now, I don't know what's going to happen there. Brian Cage has put on some fucking great matches as of late. He's really raising his stock for whatever he wants to do. He's wrestled Willie Mack. He's had great matches in Ring of Honor with his guys. This match tonight with Bryan Danielson was fucking fantastic, and I'll get into that in a second. Bro, could we see Brian Cage leave AEW and join WWE? Man, he would be great in WWE. That's the type of guy that they're looking for.
So what's about to expire? His AEW
contract,
right?
yes.
I figured they would just sign him to an ROH deal, man. It's a lateral.
He is the 6-man tag team champion.
Yeah, and that's what I figured. If he's searching for his TV deal for ROH and everything else, then a guy like Cage will be needed for an independent ROH show. So if that's the case, then yeah, I would definitely sign him to an ROH deal. Keep him, man.
I don't know when his contract is up, but it was reported by Fightful that he does have a contract coming up. But he's absolutely making a statement as to why Tony Khan should definitely bring him back. This match was fantastic. This was all Brian Cage, mostly up until the last maybe 3 or 4 minutes of this thing. And Brian really kind of made that very Brian-esque comeback. Brian Cage's offense looks incredible. Brian sold the shit out of what Brian Cage was dishing out. Bryan Danielson made a nice little comeback the way you would expect him to do. It was gritty. It was, out of nowhere. The ending was great. Brian could beat anybody with that Busaiku knee. Brian could tap anybody out with that label lock. But the way that they ended this match was exactly what this match needed because Brian Cage was dominating most of this thing. So we got these two guys, and they did have a commercial break in between this. Danielson hit a drop kick through the ropes. Tope, top rope crossbody onto the floor. Back inside, Brian Cage caught Danielson with a gorilla press, tossed him into the corner with Danielson landing very awkwardly. There were a couple of moments in this match where I thought Danielson landed on his head or his neck, or, he at least landed on his shoulder a couple of times. Cage followed with a released Sherman and then drove Brian down on the edge of the ring apron. Cage was dominating through most of this match, like I said, dominating the arm of Danielson, which MJF paid him to do. And he would promise MJF that he would break the arm. Danielson escaped the bear hug, tried his corner moonsault, but Cage caught him into a shoulder breaker, which looked fucking great. Cage did his suplex from the ring apron into the ring, followed with a German suplex from the outside in for a 2 count. Now, Danielson was hung up in the corner. Cage tried an avalanche bomb. Danielson fought free with a charging dropkick and a superplex. Some yes kicks. Danielson tried for a triangle choke, but Brian Cage easily powered out of that. Danielson then countered into an ankle lock and leg trap German suplex. Danielson and Cage tried some big shots until Cage hit a big buckle bomb in the corner. He tried for a second. He got a second and a third power bomb, but Danielson on the third rolled him up from behind and hit the out of nowhere pin. 1, 2, 3, and Danielson gets the roll up flash pin here on Brian Cage. Excellent stuff. Post-match, Cage attacked and hit his Weapon X finish as MJF walked to the ring very, very angrily. He shoved the ring attendant down, took his chair. Don't know what the ring attendant did, but MJF was in a pissed-off mood tonight. Cage put Danielson's arm through the chair and posted it on the steel post. And then, obviously, MJF wanted to make sure that his money was being well spent, so he had Cage try and Pillmanize his arm. And all of a sudden, Konosuke Takeshita came out and made the save. MJF bailed, and Cage was laid out with a running knee. Takeshita and Doc Samson, the doctor, checked on Bryan Danielson while MJF retreated up the ramp. So not much in terms of MJF. He was out there. He laid in some big shots there, ground and pound on Danielson. Out comes Takeshita. Looks like we could be seeing a tag team match of sorts, maybe somewhere down the line here. Bryan and Takeshita teaming against MJF and Brian Cage, which would be great. But what'd you think of this, man? I thought this was very intense. Exactly what this feud needed after Bryan really came from behind here and beats the much bigger Brian Cage.
It was fantastic, man. I will say, though, I was a little nervous watching Bryan work.
Yes.
With Cage.
Yes. Cage. I don't think Cage knows how strong he is.
Yeah. Not only that, I wouldn't say that. I'll put it like this. I think Cage knows exactly how strong he is, but I don't think I think Cage is not as agile as he thinks he is.
Or smooth.
Yeah. And I think that comes into play when you're trying to execute, moves sometimes. And when you get someone who's extremely delicate as far as the fans are concerned. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure if I said that in front of Bryan, he fucking slapped the shit out of me. But we don't want to see this man get hurt.
Yeah.
we do not want to see Bryan Danielson get hurt. That's the only thing I'm saying. And he's a big, stiff guy, and the wrong move, it just feels like it would go horribly wrong. So I was on edge in that way, but maybe that was the thing that made the match a little bit more interesting for me at the same time. Maybe, I don't know. But it's a good match, man. It's good. Everyone seems to have come out okay. Bryan sold the hell out of it, and he had a fiery promo in the locker room. I like it.
You know, I seen this article. I was on the train coming home from the gym, and I was reading this article, and all of a sudden, you know, I got people hitting me up. What do you think? What do you think about it? Blah, blah, blah. And Takeshita was the focus, believe it or not. I don't know for how long or why, but Takeshita was the focus on Ric Flair's To Be the Man podcast while he was discussing Takeshita's in-ring work. Now, I know that may sound weird to some of you, and why Ric Flair, who was just on Monday Night Raw on Monday, talking about Takeshita, an AEW superstar, and his in-ring work, he called, listen to this, he called Takeshita's chops on Bryan Danielson when they wrestled on Dynamite. He called Takeshita's chops lackluster chops. Now, if anybody watched that match, because this clip's on social media that I saw tonight, there was nothing lackluster about them. I don't know what Ric Flair was watching. Maybe he needs prescription glasses. Maybe he needs to turn up his hearing aid. But Bryan Danielson's chest was popping blood vessels because of how hard Takeshita was chopping Bryan Danielson. He says, and I quote, "I'll give you an example of what I thought was just bullshit, and I know he's your favorite guy. The Japanese guy who was chopping Bryan Danielson on his knee. First of all, you don't even know his name. On his knees the other night. Come on, those chops couldn't have broken an egg," he says. "If you're going to chop someone, goddamn it, hit them hard. It's not going to hurt you. Did you watch that match? Daniel was on his knees, and the guy was going, yeah, I mean, give me a break. It's embarrassing." In Japan in the 80s, that Japanese kid would have gotten the shit slapped out of him just walking back into the locker room. If you're going to hit someone like that, you want to get the crowd to woo or react, you got to hit them hard. And Takeshita, bro, fucking how classy he is. He apologized to Ric Flair and even said he would love Ric Flair to teach him how to chop. Can you imagine that?
Bro, Takeshita is going to have to learn to get used to American culture. And what Rick said about him is a goddamn slap in the face. So, what Takeshita should have said, here's the problem. How can Konosuke Takeshita come out and say that Ric Flair is wrong about his opinions about his chops?
You can't.
How can you fucking do that?
We know he's wrong, but Takeshita cannot.
You can't do that.
No.
You can't do that, dude. That's like a current NBA phenomenon being told by Michael Jordan, like, "Oh man, your dunks are shit. Your dunks are shit, bro." Who are you to say he's wrong? This guy, I mean, so if Ric Flair says your chops suck, you have nothing to do but go back and try to fix it. But Rick is wrong. There's nothing wrong with his fucking chops, dude.
Nothing wrong with his chops.
Nothing.
Stephen Vandelli with a $100 super chat. Thank you so much, brother. We love you here, man. Owen Hart, Chris Candido, Brody Lee, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, and now Jay Briscoe. Pro Wrestling know how to do memorial shows right. Rest in peace, Jay Briscoe, and thank you to everyone involved in getting this done. Reach to the sky. Thank you, brother. Very emotional night, and we as wrestling fans, very happy that Tony Khan got the job done tonight with Warner Media. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes, at the end of it all, Ric Flair is senile. I think he needs to open his eyes a little bit better. He don't even know the fucking guy's name. Maybe you should have watched the match. Clearly, you didn't. But like you said, Jesse, you know, there's a reason why these WWE disgruntled ex-fucking Hall of Fame, these Hall of Famers, ex-WWE superstars, bro, go on their podcasts. You know, they don't want, you know, they're running out of stories to tell.
Yeah.
They're running out of stories to tell, and they all know that jumping on the AEW hate train like fucking Moron Inferno and Vince Russo and all these other guys, right, is going to get them in the headlines, and that's why they do it.
That's exact. I've said this for years. That's exact. If they just go on and do a normal show talking about the things that they were involved in and what they experienced, it'll get their normal amount of clicks, whatever their normal amount is. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, you won't get anything. They will get their normal amount of clicks. When they start talking ridiculous nonsense about current stars, their normal clicks double and triple. So that is why they do it.
Yeah.
It'll be news. Tomorrow morning, when you guys wake up, it'll be on Wrestle Talk. Ric Flair says that Takeshita can't chop. News headline. Everyone's talking about Rick. Oh, Rick doesn't know what he's talking about. Yeah, but you're talking about Rick, so Rick wins.
Road Dogg's been doing it on his show. He's mentioned CM Punk and what he thought about CM Punk, and mentioned Asuka should be the Roman Reigns of the WWE Women's Division, which, I could absolutely see being the case. But that's why they do. How many more stories do they have to tell? That's why they do it. It's lame, but it's gonna pay the bills at the end of the day. Yep. So Bryan, after being beat up here by MJF and, almost pillmanized by Brian Cage, Renee was in the back. Danielson was taken into the trainer's room. Renee was there immediately, and Danielson was sitting on the trainer's table. Trainer said it didn't look good. Renee asked if he can wrestle. As the trainer was about to say something, Doc Sampson, by the way, Danielson went into a just angry rage and says he's wrestled 60 minutes with a separated shoulder, and he's not letting this stop him. He says he's going to take what means the most to MJF, the AEW title, and show the world that behind MJF's mask is a fraud, and he's going to expose him. He says he should be and will be the AEW World Champion. He looked at the trainer and says, even you will not stop me. So I'm loving it. Man, I'm telling you, man, this Iron Man match is going to be one for the books, man. This is going to be a fucking banger. We all know how good Bryan is. I mean, Bryan could probably go 2 hours if he wanted. But I said this weeks ago, and I'm going to say it again, and MJF, man, you could say what you want about MJF. You don't have to like MJF. You can find him boring or the same shit every week. We're huge fans of MJF on this show, so there will be no MJF slander here. His shit on social media, inspiration to a lot of people, him working out the way that he is, and his physique has gotten to a point where it is very inspirational. I've been going to the gym. I've been showing my guy, Dr. Evil Genius, what MJF is doing. I'm like, can we get to that? And he's like, yeah, eventually. I look at that shit. I want to be that. I want to get to that point myself, training for the last 2.5 months. But a lot of people, man, are going to look at MJF in this 60 minutes, and they're going to open their eyes to see, what they haven't seen before. And that is going to be a great professional wrestler, man. A lot of people are sleeping on MJF, and I'm sick and tired of that shit. Nobody should be sleeping on him. 60 minutes is going to prove a lot, man. They're going to prove in that match that not only is Bryan as good as we all know he is, but MJF is going to be in the discussion for one of the best pro wrestlers in the world after Revolution.
Well, I think that's the whole purpose of this feud with Bryan.
Yes.
No one can question MJF's charisma. No one can question his capabilities on the microphone. And one of the only things that could be considered subjective is his in-ring work. So, and I don't understand why that is, because his in-ring work is absolutely fantastic at the same time. But for any haters or doubters out there, you can always hold on to what your opinion of his ring work is. But now, he goes out there and does the fucking hour with Bryan fucking Danielson. What more do you want from the guy? He's done hardcore matches, just straight fucking blood-soaked fucking brawls. Now he's going to go out there and do a 1-hour technical match with someone who is widely considered literally the best professional wrestler on the planet today. And he's going to go out there and he's going to throw on a fucking banger, and they're both going to look great. So what'll be left for the haters at that point? I'm not sure. They'll try to find something else.
It's these goddamn fucking Gen Zers, bro. They don't understand the workings of a great pro wrestling heel who works a heel-like match. That's why MJF is so loved, in certain circles, because he wrestles the same way that I watched wrestling growing up.
Yeah,
it's like that's what I attribute to pro wrestling. MJF embodies that. So,
he came out in Lexington tonight to a pop.
Yes.
I text you. I said, "What the fuck? Lexington turned heel tonight? What the fuck is going on here?"
I mean,
I thought we were the only assholes that cheered the heels in here in Chicago.
Listen, people appreciate good work, and that's the those types of reactions when MJF gets those types of reactions. It's those people appreciate the work that he's doing. It's not, and I think everybody should start picking up on that. Honestly,
so good, man. We say it every week. It's starting to sound like a broken record, but I refuse to stop saying it just because we say it too much. MJF is so damn good.
Tony Storm. It's Tony time, bro. It could be Tony time any time of the week, man. I tell you.
My God, fucking Ruby Soho took some Tony time in that fucking corner with that hip attack, man.
I tell you, she got hip attacked off the fucking ring apron.
Jesus
in this match.
Christ.
Man, I'd love to take a hip attack, but
yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, I'm not rock hard. I can't. I mean,
you.
How does one get rock hard, bro? You got to let me know on this. I gotta ask him. How does one get rock hard? Really?
You need some Tony time.
Seriously. This was good. I like this. I said this before we get into this match. Tony Storm, Ruby Soho, very WWE-esque here, which I have no problem with. But the storyline that we're going for is the WWE ex-disgruntled employees versus the AEW OGs that have been there from the very beginning. I do believe that we're getting a blood and guts match with the ladies this year. Mark my words, I do think that is happening. God forbid we see another JAS blood and guts match. Not going to really feel the same. I do think that is going to end up being Mercedes. I think Mercedes is kind of leading all this, and she's going to lead the charge here against the AEW OGs. But as far as the women's division, bro, we've been very critical. One of the things that we've been very critical on in AEW is the women's division. And for the first time, and I know a lot of people are like, well, they only get one match per week. And obviously you got your Darks and you got your Rampages, but, Dynamite gets one, maybe two segments, a match and a segment backstage per week. But I feel that the women's division, for the first time in a long time, with the start of this feud and this storyline, is finally turning the corner. And I can confidently say there is now focus in the women's division. There is a beginning and what looks to be an end goal in sight here. Pieces are starting to line up. The puzzle's starting to become a little bit more clear. And some of you may not like what I'm about to say here because I know there are some WWE elitists out there. But I will say this, and I've been very definitely critical of their women's division. I think the Raw women's division is better than SmackDown, but both of them are fucking atrocious. SmackDown being the worst of the two. I honestly think the AEW women's division, bro, is right now at a better place than WWE's women's division.
It absolutely is. I mean that's AEW, like you said, the women's division is it's coming along, it's getting better. It's nowhere near where it needs to be.
No,
it's not there. You can see it heading in that direction, which is look, the women's division was bad, and we know it was bad. So we don't expect an overnight fix. We know it takes time. And we're willing to be patient about it if we see the progressive change. And we're seeing the progressive change, which is all we could really ask for. Everything in WWE for the women is completely redundant and stale. Tired of it. I think everything going on with the women in AEW right now is fantastic. And I texted you this earlier because it even though the homegrowners versus the outsiders, it might seem a little like weird or stale or cheesy or, kind of this whatever. But I think it's pretty significant because it gives the women who are not involved in a title opportunity something to do, something to work for, a storyline to be active in without only going for a title. There's not enough, well, maybe in AEW there's enough titles, but everybody can't have a title. But now that this storyline is happening, it's so many different moving pieces. I mean, it may become a faction thing, like a WCW versus NWO type deal. As long as it brings some originality to it, I'm okay with that. I just want to see a match with the women in the ring that has something on the line that's not always a title. And I think this storyline gives us just that.
Yeah, that's exactly what the division needs because Jade's going nowhere with that TBS title. That shit is fucking well past its expiration date. Jamie Hayter is obviously a part of the OGs here with Britt Baker. We're getting some WWE rub here from the ex-WWE women. We're getting new roles for Britt Baker. Now it looks like she's turning into a babyface, which could be a welcome addition to that. I'm wondering where Thunder Rosa fits into this. I wonder where Sheeta fits into this. It may be a situation, bro, where we see, Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker aligned on the same team here.
Very possible. And I want to mention something right now. We've come on here, and I'm only going to mention this in the spirit of people say that, we're always, up on AEW or always negative on the women. Or is it, I'm going to say this in the same vein that we said it when it was happening. When Britt Baker was completely overbooked and too far in front of the division and just all about her, that has done a complete 180. She's in the backdrop. She is supportive. Jamie Hayter has emerged as the number one woman in that company. And it's all with the help of Britt Baker, help putting her over and things like that. She comes out second to Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter is getting bigger pops. I want to applaud everything that Britt Baker is now doing for the women's division to, yes, help it grow and everything of the sort. And I think she's doing a fantastic job.
No, I agree. She is using what she has accumulated for herself and using it for the greater good of the division.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
It's working, and she knows her place, and her place right now is still a substantial one, but not as the champion. She doesn't need to be the champion. She probably is bigger than the championship. So, it is what it is. And
now
I'm glad Jamie Hayter's getting that rub.
Yeah, she will be back on the top of the division.
Yes, because a split between Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker is another story in itself, but it's not the right time for that.
No, exactly. So I'm enjoying it. I just wanted to make sure I came on here. I had no problem coming on and saying that it wasn't great or it was too much. And in that same energy, I want to come out here and saying that they've changed that. It is no longer the narrative. It is no longer the Britt Baker show. But she is there and she's helping to get everyone become a little bit better and more over. So that I can appreciate. I do like that.
So with this Ruby Soho Tony Storm match, if we're going for like a WWE outsider-like faction against the AEW OGs, wouldn't you think Ruby Soho would be a part of the WWE outsider faction?
That's the cool thing about what they're doing here. You can kind of manipulate it the way you want to. There could be a homegrown sympathist or, somewhere along the lines of that. It doesn't have to be cut and dry if you're homegrown, you're this side, or if you're outside and you're on that side. I didn't know if Britt Baker was turning face or if we were looking at Ruby Soho turning heel.
Yeah, I don't know. It could go any way, but if I'm coming up with a team of WWE outsiders here, obviously Tony Storm, Saraya, Mercedes, I believe, is coming in with this. You would think Ruby Soho, and then you would probably take Athena. I don't know where Athena is. I would love to see Athena mixed into this thing. She's got more of a gripe than fucking anybody there, or just as big as a gripe as anybody there to be a WWE outsider. That's 5 there, and then you got Jamie Hayter, you got Britt Baker. You can do Willow Nightingale. Her name was mentioned tonight. And then you can do Hikaru Shida, and then maybe Thunder Rosa. I think that would be a fantastic 5-on-5 possible war game situation.
Yeah, I like it, man. I think it brings just a little bit of extra intrigue to the division. We're sitting there trying to figure out what's going to happen and who's going to what side. I think that's a part of it.
Yeah,
that's a part of it. Who's actually going to be on what side? This person's not homegrown. Yeah, but she's friends with this person or this person. We don't know, and it's kind of interesting because it does feel like it's leading to the introduction of Mercedes at the end of it. So I'm interested. I want to see where this goes.
We could see her at the pay-per-view. Who knows?
Yeah.
She will be the IWGP Women's Champion by that point, I think.
I'm pretty sure she will.
Anyway, hip attack. That hip attack sent Soho to the outside, onto the floor. Storm was controlling the entire commercial break here. Soho got her face busted in the corner. Saito suplex. Soho missed Destination Unknown. Storm got a roll-up with the tights for 2. Soho answered with no future for a close 2 count of her own. Went to the top. Rolled through a senton attempt. Storm acted like her nose was hurt. Referee called to stop the match. Soho, like a dummy, fell for it. Storm pulled Soho into the ropes. Hit another sweet chic music in the corner. Then a DDT. Goes for a cover, gets a 2 count. Britt Baker's music hits. She walked out not looking very hurt. But, maybe it's all a ruse or a typical Britt Baker screw job here. I don't know. She didn't look very hurt to me. The distraction for Storm was enough for Soho to Destination Unknown, and she gets the victory over Tony Storm.
Yeah, her nose is definitely busted up, man. If she's not getting
who knows when that match was filmed?
It was filmed, but I don't think she worked after it though. Of course, it was filmed. It was on Dark.
I know. Who knows when it was filmed though? It could have been 2 weeks ago.
It was filmed last week, man.
Oh, okay. Anyway, Ruby Soho wins. Toni Storm takes a loss, surprisingly, here tonight. And yes, Serena D would make a great choice for the ladies, but I believe she's hurt, so I don't know where she is.
We need D back. Where's Mercedes?
Mercedes who?
Martinez.
Martinez. I don't know. Ring of Honor. I don't know.
That's the Mercedes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's not stopping anyone else from Ring of Honor showing up on fucking AEW.
No. Now keep that to Ring of Honor. They're going to get a TV show hopefully up and running soon. MJF is in a dimly lit room. He starts running down Takeshita saying he's talented, but to stay out of his way. Despite being injured, Danielson will keep marching to Revolution like a hero.
Also, before I forget, it also feels like this homegrown versus outsider is also going to lead us to a return of Chris Statlander too.
I could see that.
Definitely return of Chris Statlander to the homegrown side.
Anyway, MJF said he was, what did he say? He said here, unfortunately, people around here can't control their emotions. He says he's not the first Jew who had to hide from someone with blue eyes. He said he still thinks take a shitter is funny, but he can't force fans to have taste. He says Danielson is really talented, but he's not too smart because he wants to dance with the devil. He told him to stay out of his business or there will be consequences. He asked how his arm is doing and said it's hanging on by a thread. He said the fans see him as a hero, but he knows he's obsessed with the AEW Championship. He said the belt gives him a reason to get out of bed in the morning. He said all his blood, sweat, tears, and sins were worth it. So the belt makes him feel whole. He asked Danielson why he wants to take it from him. Don't you have enough, man? He said he has a family and a Hall of Fame career. He says he knows he has a hole in his soul, and he's trying to fill it. He said bad things happen to people who mess with MJF and AEW. He said he knocked out some British guy who looked like Ellen DeGeneres on meth. I don't know who he was talking about. I thought you were talking about somebody. I thought you were talking about fucking Timothy Thatcher. I don't know who the fuck MJF was talking about. What British guy?
That's why I was like, who is the British guy on meth? Who's he talking about?
Who is he talking about, man?
If he wouldn't have said the British guy,
maybe Regal. He's probably talking about Regal.
Oh yeah.
He's probably talking about Regal.
That's right.
Some British guy who looked like Ellen DeGeneres on meth. Man, that's quite the fucking insult there, man. I'm like, well, that Ellen DeGeneres part kind of threw me off. I'm like, oh, it's William Regal.
Who?
Anyway, he said if he keeps threatening to take away the one thing that gives him happiness, he will find out that tonight was physical pain, and it isn't as bad as mental pain he can dish out next. He says he made a phone call to someone who likes dishing out pain. He says, it's been a fun ride, but it's over. Run the clip. And then we see a clip of Timothy Thatcher, and he will be wrestling Mr. Bryan Danielson next week. And they showed him winning a match with a Fujiwara armbar to continue the story of MJF targeting the arm of Bryan Danielson. That I like. And that should be a fucking submission mat, fucking classic next week.
But I like it, and that will be great. I don't think it's gonna rock the house because not too many people are familiar with Timothy Thatcher.
No,
but I do like how they immediately rolled a quick package so people can get a quick glimpse of who he was and how vicious. Because this guy has Timothy Thatcher has one of the best snarls I've ever seen in pro wrestling, man. Just like Regal. Just like Regal. I mean, he just knows how to look at you like he's gonna fucking kill you, man. I that's one thing I pinpoint that I love about Timothy Thatcher. The match will be hard hitting. It'll be great. I don't expect the crowd to go nuts for it because, like I said, not too many people knows who Timothy Thatcher is, but he can go. If you don't know who he is, Timothy Thatcher can go in the ring. So the match will be fantastic.
Yeah. So next week we're getting toothless aggression.
Yeah.
Anyway, I wanted to mention this because we're talking about Bryan here, and this was a great promo by MJF. Bryan was being beat up, and apparently he has Blackpool Combat Club members in the back, like Wheeler Yuta, who apparently don't want to come out and help him, but Konosuke Takeshita comes out and helps Bryan Danielson. I want to know why. This is just a glaring observation for TK and the rest of the AEW crew. If Wheeler Yuta is still in the Blackpool Combat Club, why is he not out there helping Bryan Danielson in a 2-on-1 attack with the world champion and a fucking monster of a man in Brian Cage, Jesse. Where is Wheeler Yuta? It's almost as if the Blackpool Combat Club doesn't exist anymore, but yet they want to call themselves the Blackpool Combat Club.
Yeah, that I didn't get. So, I mean, clearly Moxley wasn't cleared, so he wasn't there. We saw nothing of Claudio, so it's possible he wasn't there. But unfortunately, they gave us
Or
Yuta.
Claudio, yes.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he wasn't there. We don't know. But we know Yuta was there because they gave us Wheeler Yuta. So creatively, they should have done something about this. Either Yuta should have been out there, or they should have had the engagement between Hangman and Yuta bleed into something that would have Yuta leave the building. For whatever reason, he went after Hangman out into the parking lot, or whatever the case may be. But to have him sit there and cut a promo with Hangman and Renee, and then Brian's getting beat up in the ring, the first thing I'm saying, well, where the fuck is Wheeler Yuta? He's here. He's here. If he never would have showed up on TV at all, he just could have said, well, they're not here tonight. They didn't come. But you showed us Wheeler Yuta, so now we want to know why he didn't come out and help his fellow Blackpool Combat Club.
Yuta was mad at Danielson, so I understand him, but Claudio? Why is Yuta mad at Danielson? All these weeks later, he's still mad at Danielson?
He's not.
You mean to tell me they
mad.
didn't fucking sit down and talk at any point in the last couple of weeks since William Regal has been there?
Who posted? Whoever posted that? Question for you: do you have a brother or a sibling? Do you guys fight? Do you get into arguments? Now, if you saw your brother getting his ass kicked by someone outside of the family, are you going to say, "Well, I'm still angry at you"? So no.
Now, I understand. I understand that Takeshita is a part of the story, and they're building Takeshita up, which is I have no problem with that at all. I love Takeshita, and he's a part of this story, and he's been the focus of MJF as well. But that doesn't excuse the fact that because Takeshita is a part of the story, let's leave Wheeler Yuta out, who's a part of the Blackpool Combat Club, a teammate of Bryan Danielson, a faction member of Bryan Danielson, in the back, and not him going out there to help his faction member. It's just a little silly to me. It's just an observation, and I'd like to know why that was allowed to happen. I would have not, if I didn't see Wheeler Yuta, I would have just assumed he wasn't in the building. But we saw Wheeler Yuta tonight, and he was there.
Someone's saying that, Claudio was on the ramp at the end of the show. I won't count that. Everybody came out to break kayfabe. You have heels and baby faces.
Yes, he wasn't on the program in a fucking segment.
Yes, exactly. Yuta was out there in storyline, so he's at the show. He's in the back. If Claudio was not on the show and he came out in the ramp, no, you come out for the ramp because fucking Mark Briscoe was out there. We won't count that. That doesn't count.
Yeah, I see some people saying the super chats are not working. I don't know what it is. If you're on mobile, I don't know what's going on there with mobile. Maybe you got to do it from a PC or a laptop of some sort. I don't know. YouTube's just been fucked up lately. So if you guys are trying to get super chats in and you can't, it's not me. If you can chat in here, you're not benched or banned. It's just a YouTube problem, and I apologize on their behalf because it's just fucked up. Main event. We got the Ring of Honor crew out there. We got Ian Riccaboni and Caprice Coleman joining Excalibur at the announce test, which was a nice touch there. They replaced Taz and Tony Schiavone. Jay Lethal made his way out, and you could already tell where this was going. He hugged Sanjay Dutt, and he was out there by himself. He was already tearing up as he walked down the aisle, which got me tearing up. He barely, and I mean barely, held it together. He raised his arms up, looked at the hard cam. He got in the ring. You could see he just wanted to just let loose, and he held it together. On the other hand, Mark Briscoe came out. His ring entrance took place, and Riccaboni talked about his history and friendship with the Briscoes. Jay Briscoe was 38 years old. Today was his birthday, and Mark Briscoe, the younger of the two brothers, man, he came out there, bro. He was swinging the fucking titles around. He had both Ring of Honor tag team titles, by the way. So that was a nice touch. He was swinging the titles around, acting like Mark Briscoe would act. The strength and composure of Mark Briscoe, bro, was something that was so jump off the TV screen to me. It's like the mental strength and the fucking just the unbelievable will and heart of Mark Briscoe to go out there and entertain us, man, and have that type of excitement and emotion and hold that together, hold that composure together is something that a lot of people cannot do. And he did it. That was
amazing.
amazing. Better than me. He's better than me.
The bigger man than me. I would have been out there just dragging my damn feet, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in no mood to even watch wrestling the day after I found that news out. So, and I had no relations. I've never met this man before.
Yeah.
This is his brother. Can you imagine the shit that these two men have been through together over the course of their career? You know, and here they are now. I don't, man, the guy's amazing. I don't know how Mark did it, but he was out there with a smile. He worked his ass off in his match. I'm so happy that he got this moment, man. I think this is fantastic for his career. And again, I think this is going to be vital and going forward for him in being able to support his family. I mean, the grind continues and he still needs to work, man. And I think as fans, we're going to make sure that he stays where he needs to be in this industry and continue to be popular and to earn for his family. And that's what I'm happy about.
It's something that, I mean, I'm looking at situations in my life that I had to deal with. I've been very fortunate about situations regarding death in my family. The hardest one, obviously, being my grandfather. You know, I've had family pets pass away. That's the most difficult thing ever. I know there will be a time where, you know, my Bacardi is going to go. She's 21 years old. You know, it's going to be one of those situations where you may not hear from me, you may not see me, you may not have a podcast on a day if it happens. You know, Mark Briscoe, the will and fucking determination. I don't even have words for it. It just, at the end of it all, it just shows the amount of love that he had for his brother, and it's just amazing to me. Yeah. And the commentary team was great. They handled this professional. They had the right tone in their voice. Caprice Coleman and Ian Riccaboni were fucking out of this world tonight. And the crowd was there. When Jay Briscoe, you know, passed away, it hit us hard. To see Jay Lethal in that match, when the bell rang and they hugged, man, I lost it.
Yep.
I couldn't hold back the tears anymore.
So did Jay Lethal.
And Mark Briscoe's there. He's fucking carrying on like this is, you know, a normal business day. It's unbelievable. Bobby Cruz did the introductions. Bell rang. They were given more than enough time in this thing with some time left over to let everything just settle. And we got that beautiful moment at the end. Excellent show at the end of it all. Big Briscoe chant. They plugged the T-shirt, and all the proceeds are going to the family of Jay Briscoe. So they adhered to the code of honor, shook hands. Lethal visibly trying to keep it all together here. Lethal tried to use his quickness early, firing off some arm drags. Each man took turns chopping away, and Briscoe hit a snapmare into a snap dropkick. Lethal tried to fight back, planted with a Briscoe neckbreaker for 2 count. They were on the ring apron, fighting back and forth. Forearm battle, chop battle. Lethal took out the leg of Mark Briscoe, hit a tope. Lethal kept Briscoe grounded until Briscoe used his redneck kung fu with a top rope chop. Inzaguri sent Lethal to the corner where Briscoe hit a splash and then an iconoclasm. Briscoe tried for a J Driller, which was Jay Briscoe's finish, but Lethal fought into a lethal combination. Briscoe got a roll-up off of a figure 4 attempt as Lethal responded with a front face suplex into a lethal injection. Briscoe then rolled to the floor after the lethal injection. Excellent move there. Lethal followed out. After set up Briscoe on the timekeeper's table, Lethal went to the top. Briscoe cut him off and hit a drop kick through the ropes. Briscoe hit a blockbuster off the apron and set up Lethal on that same timekeeper's table. He goes to the top and Froggy Bow through the table and through Jay Lethal. This is what got me as well. I'm just envisioning fucking Jay Briscoe just watching down, crowd chanting, holy shit, was just unbelievable with the Froggy Bow off the top rope to a loud holy shit chant. This is awesome chant. Just unbelievable. Lethal kicked out at 2, back inside the ring. He bridged out of a J Driller attempt for a 2. Briscoe responded with a lariat, turned Lethal inside out a couple of times, vicious lariats. Briscoe successfully hit a J Driller, got the win in what was an incredible, emotional main event here. Mark looked into the camera, told his family to keep their heads up, told his brother that he loved him. AEW locker room then filters out to the stage. and they all applauded Mark. He went to go hug Christopher Daniels, as did Jay Lethal. Mark was soaking up the moment. Tony Khan came out, hugged Mark Briscoe big time on the ramp there, and he held up the Ring of Honor titles as the show went off the air. Couldn't ask for anything better. This was in the most perfect scenario that you could have for something like this in this situation. AEW had a perfect scenario with this match, the timing of the match, this match, and then this, gathering of AEW locker room, bro, on the stage. For him there to have that moment tonight, this meant a lot to a lot of different people. This meant a lot to me. It's meant a lot to you. It meant a lot to the locker room, everybody in the pro wrestling world. And I can't thank Tony Khan enough for going to bat for basically the fans and that company and the family to do what he did tonight. Warner Media okayed it. They deserve their kudos at the end of all this as well. But I couldn't have asked for anything better. This was perfect.
This was great. I didn't expect them to go as hard as they did, with the big spot through the table and everything else.
I don't think Jay Briscoe would have wanted anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And at the same time, this was Mark's. This was his big stage. This was the biggest stage that Mark Briscoe has ever seen in his career. I mean, just because it was the main event on live television nationwide, worldwide. For one night only, if nothing else, the Briscoes were front and center of the wrestling world, and that warms my heart to see. And I think he went out there and did the best that he could with his emotions where they were and everything else. Fucking Jay Lethal. If this doesn't raise your respect level for Jay Lethal, I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't care where it was. I don't care if you had high respect for him already. It should be higher at this point. And the man went out there with his emotions the way that they were and still managed to go out there and have a fantastic match in the main event on national television, man. Hats off to Jay Lethal at the same time. I mean, it's what they do is hard physically and emotionally. And he went out there and they performed at that level, and he made Mark Briscoe look like $1 million at his most important moment of his career. So hats off to these guys, man. I think it was a fantastic match.
Jay Lethal's always been incredible. I'm a huge fan of him. I would love to see him in something a little bit more on AEW television. Does this lead to Mark Briscoe getting a contract with AEW?
I can only hope, man. I don't see a reason why Warner Media would say, fine, put him on TV this one time, then we never want to see him again.
Yeah.
That would make no sense. And as far as AEW wanting to sign him, please.
I mean, it's a no-brainer to me.
I mean,
I don't know what you do with the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. I do not want to see him go get another tag team partner. I think that would be it wouldn't fit right. It wouldn't feel right. Mark Briscoe is good enough to go on a run of his own for sure. Carry on the legacy of his brother through a singles run. I'd love to see Tony Khan give us a Jay Briscoe Invitational or a Jay Briscoe Memorial Tag Team Tournament of some sort that we get, every year. Yes. I love when it's this type of situation. Like, obviously we all miss him. For his legacy to carry on, we got the Owen Memorial Cup. We could get the Jay Briscoe Memorial Tag Team Invitational, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. I think that would be fantastic to crown new tag team champions if he wants to go that route. Let his legacy live on, not only through Mark, but something like that with the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships being put on the line in a tournament every year. Yeah,
I wouldn't mind it. What if we combined them? I mean, I don't want to take away from Owen's time in the spotlight, but would it be possible or a good idea to combine the Owen tournament, the Owen Briscoe tournament?
No, I think that should be kept separately. Yeah.
Kept separately?
Yeah, especially if Ring of Honor is going to have a TV deal. That should be strictly on Ring of Honor TV.
Oh, well, yeah, no, good point. Yeah. No, the J tournament should be an ROH thing. Yeah. No, good point. Yeah.
So that was AEW Dynamite tonight. You couldn't ask for anything better. Again, they nailed it, and it's everything that we had wanted last week, and we got it this week. And AEW is absolutely scorching red hot right now. I'm loving it. Revolution is going to be an absolute fucking banger. And they are doing all the right things. They're hitting all the right buttons. The momentum is there. Things are making sense. Mike Mansory being there, you see a noticeable difference in the show. Things are flowing better. You got video packages. You got explanations on things. People who you want to see on the show that might not necessarily be there at the show, they're still given a video package on the show. I love it. Everything is where it needs to be. The little minor criticisms, the little complaints that we've had, 2023 has definitely been a brand new AEW, and it's lived up to the billing.
Yeah, it has. I'm not gonna do the live stream. They didn't post it back up, man.
Yeah, something happened then. I don't know. I don't know what had happened. Maybe we'll find out about that in a news article at some point tonight. But we are going to get into the Super Chats, and I appreciate you guys very much for hanging out with us tonight. If you want to get them on in, it's last call. It's last call in the venue for Super Chats, so get them on in. 4 new members tonight. I appreciate you guys joining us in the VIP club. Soon we'll be drinking in my mother's basement. It's coming along very nicely. Can't wait to show you guys. That is going to be hopefully within the next couple of months. Brand new artwork and look of the podcast. Furthering the podcast, making it stand out even more. Likes. Thank you guys for reaching 1,000. I appreciate you. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo. And tomorrow you guys will see me live on Off the Script. We got some news to talk about. So I'll be in the mood to talk about pro wrestling with you guys tomorrow. Should be live around 4 p.m., 4:30 around that time. So look out for notification in your sub boxes. Joseph Taylor with an $8 super chat. 2 things, JD. Jesse, your top 5 AJ Styles dream matches. And I've been subscribed to your channel for 1 whole year. Thank you, Joseph Taylor, number 1, for 1 year. Appreciate you very much. And number 2, AJ Styles dream matches. I don't know if you mean current or retired, but, you know, my number 1 would be AJ Shawn Michaels. AJ Shawn Michaels for sure.
As of right now, off the top of my head, I wouldn't mind seeing AJ Styles versus MJF.
That'd be great, too.
That'd be fantastic, man.
Nate, the head of Talents TV with a new membership. Nate, thank you so much, brother. What the fuck are you drinking tonight? Tony Brown with a $4.99. He says, boo, tea, meat. Oh, yeah. Listen, bro, it can be Tony time 8 days out of 7 in my household. Oh, my goodness. Sean Ray J with a 5 months. Thank you, brother. What are you drinking to celebrate 5 months, man? Amazing AEW show today. Banger matches all around. Great tribute match and ending. Cherish your loved ones, y'all. Life is precious. Absolutely. Definitely made me think about, you know, who I have in my life and those who I haven't really spoken to lately. For sure. Even though we didn't know him, I had the honor and pleasure of calling his matches in House of Glory all year. I'll never forget that, man. I'm so incredibly proud that I was able to be a part of that. And like, I mean, I tell Brian and Red, you know, thank you every time. You know, they for giving me that platform to do that. I couldn't have even thought about that in my wildest dreams. But the fact that me and Solid Monster called his last match, man, I'll never forget that. Elf Wen with 25,000 in Chilean pesos. He says, thanks for all. Jay Briscoe. Thank you, Elf Wen. That is $31 in Chilean pesos, by the way, in U.S. currency. Emerald Lord with 10 months. I'm not crying. You are crying. TK, we are proud of you. Rest in peace, Jay Briscoe. Thank you, Emerald. 10 months, brother. Thank you. WUJ Money with 6 months. Thank you, Jay Briscoe, and I can't wait to watch the tribute show at 1 a.m. Well, it's not up anymore. I don't know what the hell happened. It's going to be an emotional one. Hopefully get some news on that because they privated the video. Maybe there was an error in there and they wanted to correct it before it goes back up. Michelle Moran with a $2 super chat. TK is the best, a class act all the way. Rest in peace, Jay. Edward Liu with 17 months. He's on his way to 24 months. And that golden microphone, seeing Jay Lethal cry before the match, made me the same way. So grateful for the tribute match tonight. Rest in peace, Jay Briscoe. Dem Boys. Thank you, Edward. Paul Troy with a new membership. Paul, what the fuck are you drinking, Paul Troy? Max Chains with 6 months. Reach for the sky. Whiskey glass emoji. Thank you, Max Chains, for 6 months. Fantasy Kid with 13 months. Just showing some love, bro. I appreciate you, Fantasy Kid. Antonio Munez Jr., 3 months. Didn't get to see a live performance from them boys, but have seen clips, though, on YouTube. Think highly of what they have done. One of the best tag teams of all time, man. Transcended the tag team realm. Very difficult to find anybody better. Thank you for 3 months, Antonio. AEW Mark with 13 months. What a great AEW Dynamite. Was at the forum last week. Thanks, TK, for smoking that Booker of the Year pack. Glad we bent the knee. JD, thank you. Thank you, AEW Mark.
Yeah, he locked that title down for this year already.
Yeah.
That's done.
He's on a roll.
Yeah.
P-Mac with a $5 super chat. JD, did you see Mercedes would do a match in Hague? She says she wants to go to all promotions all around the world, and I can see they are doing a favor for a friend. Bro, if Mercedes is... If I get to call a Mercedes Moné match in House of Glory, man, I'm a made man. And I'd have to request a handshake of some sort to at least say thank you to her. And maybe Mikaze is there and I can buy him a fucking shot of whiskey.
That'd be fantastic, man.
JP5150 with 28 months. This show this night was for the love and appreciation of Jay Briscoe. Truly emotional. Thank you for the memories. Reach for the sky. Thank you, JP. 28 months, brother. Glad to have you in the venue. Nate, the head of TV Talent. Or Talent TV. Membership, 6 months. But you just... I don't know why YouTube does that. It says he just joined and then says 6 months. I don't know.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Jay Briscoe, one half of the best tag team ever. I met Jay at Impact months ago. No trolls tonight. Drinks are on me and Chelsea for you, Jay Briscoe. Thank you, Nate. Thank you for your 6 months, man. I'm glad it's 6 months and not 1 month. Brian Connolly with $25 super chat. Now, this is actually upsetting to me. Brian Connolly, I did not know this. What do you think about Chip Carey leaving the Braves for the Cardinals, JD? On one hand, I fucking hate it. Just thinking out loud now that I just heard this news for the first time, seconds ago. I hate it. I think Chip Carey is fucking great at what he does. He is the voice of the Braves. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But didn't his father have something to do with the Cardinals organization? So that's why he may be going there. Or maybe it's a money thing. I have no fucking idea. I don't know why they won't pay Chip Carey. I got to look that up. Thank you, Brian, for filling me in on that. Mr. Premium 2002, $4.99. YouTube won't let me super chat my real message I had. So I guess I'll have to say rest in peace, Jay Briscoe. I don't know why, Premium. Joey Clemenza with 13 months. Tonight was like a cathartic release. Such an emotional send-off to the late Jay Briscoe. It was exactly the tribute we needed, and it was beautiful. Thank you, Joey. Joey Clemenza with a $10 super chat. Just checking to see if the super chats are down. Clearly not, man. Your 13 months and 10 just came through.
I checked it on my phone earlier. It was going through for me.
Yeah, I don't know, man. YouTube is all fucked up this month. Billy Sizane with a $10. I just lost my cousin last week to an overdose in New York, and it's still killing me. I must admit, I teared up for Jay Briscoe. He'll be missed. Love you, Jay, and cousin Randy. I'm sorry to hear that, Billy. Prayer emojis for my guy Billy in the OTS venue, man. Come on. Joe King with a $5 super chat. JD and Jesse, if you each had to choose a male and female wrestler from AEW to debut for WWE in the Royal Rumble, who would they be?
To stay there for good?
I don't know. If it was a one-off, bro, obviously I'd choose... for the guys, I'd probably choose a Kenny Omega.
I do Moxley.
And for the ladies, honestly, I'd probably pick Britt Baker.
I'm just trying to pop the crowd. I think Moxley returning for a one-off in the Rumble popped the holy shit out of the crowd.
Yeah.
For the women, yeah, I guess Britt Baker, but you're really leaving it to the WWE fans to know how big she might be when maybe they don't watch. You don't know. So that's why I would pick a returning star. I mean, something like that. Maybe a page for a one-off.
Robert Lamoe with the $5. I don't understand why don't Tony put Matt Hardy in writing team. He's a creative genius. He could be someone to lead the mid-card division. I think Tony Khan's got a grasp on the way things need to be, bro. But yes, Matt Hardy should be a producer or an agent. Yes. Marie Johnson with a $10 super chat. Why is it that everyone thinks now all these wrestlers should go to WWE? Triple H brought all these NXT wrestlers back and not one of them is getting over. Rome wasn't built in a day, Marie Johnson.
Not one of them?
Wait till Johnny Gargano gets on a roll, bro. Seriously. Stephen Vandelli again, thank you so much for the $100 super chat, brother. Thank you for being here. Philip Newton with a $4.99. Tonight's Dynamite was a banger after banger after banger after banger. Rest in peace, Jay Briscoe. Eric Newton with 13 months. Cheers, JD. I'm looking forward for Dead Space remake this Friday and looking forward to Resident Evil 4 in March. Oh, wow. Dead Space is this Friday, huh? I'm interested in this Harry Potter game, bro. It's looking good. Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy.
What?
It's a brand new RPG, man.
Whatever, man.
Big Wheezy with the 2 months. I'll take a sparkling ice water for my 2 months. Love this community. Big Wheezy, it doesn't matter, bro, as long as it's ice cold. Thank you, man. Allison Ochoa. New member. Thank you, Allison. Phil with a $4.99. What an emotional night. I'm mad enough to say I had tears in my eyes. Jay Briscoe may be gone, but he won't be forgotten. Love you guys. Never. Thank you, Phil. Robert Lamoa with a $5. This question is for both you and Jesse. Which wrestler do you idolize? Who do you demonize? And who do you humanize? And it had to be in a modern era. Who do I idolize and demonize? What type of question is this, bro? I don't demonize anybody. Who do I idolize?
Look, can we just change that to who do we like and who we don't like?
Yeah, nobody should be idolizing anybody, bro.
Yeah, I don't idolize.
I don't idolize anybody. I idolize fucking the Lord and Savior.
And I don't demonize anybody. This is
neither.
just fiction.
I mean, who do I look up to? I don't know, man. I don't really. I mean, I'm not in the sport, so I mean, it's obviously different. When I played music, I idolized, or not really idolized, or looked up to musicians, But who do I have great respect for?
See, I think the wording of the question, you look up to people that you would want to be like, and I'm not striving to be a professional wrestler.
No, me neither.
So, I mean, I enjoy everything they do, but I'm not trying to be them. I wouldn't want to be one of them for anything, man. What they do is fucking real.
Hey,
bro.
I'll tell you that. I'll tell you this. Who do I demonize? Vince McMahon. There you go. But I respect greatly everybody that gets into this business because it ain't easy.
Yeah.
And they break their backs for us, so. Joseph Taylor with a $3 super chat. JD Jesse, Rock Hard is a song by Kiss. Well, maybe that's Juice Robinson's problem. He's a fan of Kiss.
Oh, you think Juice Robinson has a fucking problem?
He's got no problem. He's got no problem. Juice Robinson's living a glorious life.
I mean,
break.
There's a reason he's rock hard, bro.
I know. Well, Justin Turner with a 9 months. Thank you, brother. Really enjoy seeing you two on my Wednesday nights. Very great podcast every week. Hope you all have a good one. Thank you, brother. And we are happy that you are here. And Sidro with 5 months. I always bring a piece of paper to a wrestling match just in case The Rock is my opponent. Sidro, I don't know, bro. Jesse didn't like that one, man. He's giving you the thumbs down. Anyway, man, listen. We're getting out of here. Revving up the Mustang, man. Time to go.
Thank you guys for joining us tonight, man. Thank you for remembering and mourning and honoring the late, great Jay fucking Briscoe, bro.
Oh, yeah. What a night. Emotional one. Another banger of a show by Tony Khan and AEW. They are doing their thing, man, and this week is going to be a big week. We got done with AEW tonight. Monday Night Raw's in the books. I'll be live tomorrow afternoon. Friday, we got SmackDown, and then Saturday is the big one, man. The Royal Rumble. What surprises does Triple H have for us? Who will win the Royal Rumble? What's going to happen with Sami Zayn? Are we going to see The Rock? Lots of questions. I'm hearing Jay White may be in the Royal Rumble. Here he's WWE bound. I don't know. I don't know, man. We will see. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the super chat love. Thank you for the new memberships tonight. Make sure you guys continue to hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Make sure you guys go check out all the other content on the channel. Plenty of it. Live streams, shorts, all that stuff. Follow me on Twitter at JDfromNY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo. Follow Jesse at Chi-Town Smark on the Twitter. And subscribe to his YouTube channel. Same thing, at Chi-Town Smark on YouTube. And please, make sure you guys hit your notifications, man. I'll be live tomorrow afternoon around 4:30. We got the midweek coverage of all your news before we get into the Royal Rumble this weekend. Guys, I need to see those ace emojis in the chat.
Reach for the sky.
I need to see those Mustang emojis in the chat. I need to see those rock on emojis in the, not the rock hard emojis, the rock on emojis. And let me see those fingers to the sky, man, for Jay Briscoe. Thank you again. And let me hear that music on Max, and I'll see you guys tomorrow afternoon right here on OTS. I'll see you guys later.